Good morning and welcome to the Bowling University studio from the International Bowling Campus in Arlington, Texas. I'm Kelly Bednar and I'll be your host for this edition of the Bowling University Tuesday Morning Profit Break. Thank you for joining us. The Tuesday Morning Profit Break is an opportunity for sharing insights on how to grow revenue, reduce costs, enrich yourself, your team, and your business. Welcome to our new viewers and welcome back to those of you joining us again. Thank you for taking a few minutes out of your busy day. We have another great show ready to share with you this morning, so grab your cup of coffee or your favorite morning beverage, and let's get started improving your profitability. Today we have with us one of our very own team members from here at the campus, Bart Berger. Bart is no stranger to the Tuesday Morning Profit Break or our industry, and is going to spend a few minutes this morning talking about one of the certainly the most, if not the top pressing issues facing all of us today, and that is staffing. So as we're on the road to recovery, there's no shortage of help wanted signs in our community. So Bart, thank you for taking a few minutes this morning and sharing with us some of the things that these centers are struggling with, and what are they going to do to get staff?
Yeah, Kelly, that's a great question. And good morning, everyone. It's glad to be with you today. This is a prevalent topic. In fact, so much so that we spent some time researching this, and this is the first of a three-part series. So I hope you'll stay with us because it's such a big issue. We can't tackle it in one episode. In fact, we probably can't tackle it in 3 episodes, but we're going to give you some tools to help you on this road to recovery. So let me set this up. Normally during the Tuesday Morning Profit Break, we always try to keep these in short, quick hit formats, 15 minutes or less. This morning episode may run a few minutes over, but stay with us because we've got a lot to share with you. I want to talk a little bit about the why, because it's not all the things that you're just hearing through the media. Talk about the why and then some strategies to get started, and then join us for our next 2 episodes as well. So first thing is, how did we even get here, right? I got a couple examples of some signs here. I'm not going to read them. I don't mean them as political statements. I just mean them to say, how did we get here? How did this happen? How did we get to a point in our society, in our the businesses that we're in, that we're even thinking about these things and making these kind of statements to guests when they come to see us there? So it's just mind-boggling. But I want to walk back a little bit. The pandemic was an accelerator, and what I mean by that is it accelerated societal trends that were already in motion. And we can debate about what type of time frame and how many years has accelerated it, but the pandemic was an accelerator. It took things that were already happening and it just magnified them and exponentially moved them forward. I'll share with you a couple of quick examples. Of course, the one that we're all top of mind, telecommuting. Last year, it accelerated the fact that many folks had to work from home, not by choice. But if you study the numbers previously in the last decade, telecommuting had been increasing each year. So the pandemic accelerated that. Now, long term, we'll have to wait and see how many people remain in the telecommuting environment. Food delivery is another one. Think about pre-pandemic. What was the primary item you would deliver or order and have delivered at home? A pizza. It held well. You could box it up. It didn't taste too bad when you got it. You would never, ever think about having a steak or sushi or a salad delivered. Those were things that you ate in the comfort of a great restaurant or you made at home. But food delivery was accelerated by the pandemic. Now, we'll have to wait a little bit to understand the long-term effects of that. And I tee both those examples up because for us in our world, this reduced labor force, the trends that were starting with the reduced labor force were happening a couple of years in advance, and the pandemic was an accelerator. So this just didn't pop up overnight. Now, let's talk about pre-pandemic, because we started to study this topic in the end of 2018 to put together some resources for you in 2019 on this very topic of talent acquisition. Pre-pandemic, 2019, unemployment was at a record low, about 3.5% it got down to, which in our space is really full employment. When you get under 4%, we consider that in our environment full employment. The birth rate in America is at an all-time low. It's been reduced. It's been going down and down and down for decades. Not that it's a good or bad thing. It's just a data point that we need to be aware of. Females are they're getting married later. They're having careers, and when they do have families, they're having less children. So we are at a point now in our society where we are not even replenishing the population the death rate is exceeding the birth rate. And there's another phenomenon that was happening before the pandemic. There are less teens working now than ever. The teen employment rate is at an all-time historic low, largely driven by the fact, think about those of us that have kids or grandkids, and we've been blessed to have a family. Teens are doing things, sports, arts. If you have an athlete in your family, you know it's travel all the time. So you have less teens working. The birth rate is at an all-time low, and you have had a very strong economy with low unemployment. All of that happened before the pandemic, and it created a problem that some of you were already working on and already working on ways to address that now has been accelerated. Now, here's a sign for you. Due to the tax release of tax refunds, we have no staff available. We closed to a further notice. Visit one of our other locations. This is from the Popeyes brand. I don't mean to pick on Popeyes, but God bless them. They give us so much to work with, to share with people. I had to actually research this to make sure this wasn't fake news. But here's the magic of this sign. It was not during or after the pandemic. This was in April of 2019. April of 2019, some Popeyes franchise operator used the excuse of tax refunds why they couldn't staff their facility. So what's happening is not a phenomenon. It's not something new. It's been accelerated by the pandemic. Now let's talk quickly about things that are happening now because of the pandemic. Stimulus replaced secondary income. People that normally might need to work a second job to pay down debt or to save for a vacation, they didn't need to because the government took care of that with the stimulus. Now, yes, some people are staying home because of the extra unemployment benefit, but that's not the reason. And that's an easy one to hang our hats on and blame the government. And it's not a good thing. Personally, I don't believe it. I don't think many of you believe it's a good thing, but it's not the entire reason. Stay-at-home moms. If stay-at-home mom did want to work or was previously working part-time just to pick up some extra income, the kiddos are home because everyone's doing the virtual school. Seniors could be reluctant to go back into the workplace because they're high risk, and they should be protected and be reluctant to go back, quite candidly. And moms are even more now reluctant to let their teens work. So think about all the things that were happening before, and now coming out of this, you've got less teens available to work because mom's scared, seniors that need to protect themselves, which they should, and the need for a secondary income is gone because the government has stimulated us with the extra money. Right thing to do at the time. Now we're coming out of this, okay? So here's another version of Popeyes. Stimulus gone, come get a job. Now this was taken last week from a Popeyes franchise, and I can't believe we've come to the fact that this is how we're going to go about recruiting in there. What I want all of you to be thinking about, because you're great, is I want you to be a victor, not a victim. Don't let the government or someone else make a victim out of you. Be a victor. And there's some things we're going to share with you quickly in this first episode of this three-part series to get you started. Darden CEO Gene Lee, I love this young man. You can read what he says there about brands that can hire, train, and retain frontline employees. They're going to win. Now, he didn't say this yesterday. He said it in 2019, and it's even more true now coming out of this here. So here's what we teach to at the campus. We say, how are you going to get a great talent? How are you going to replace those workers? We're not going to blame it on the government. We're not going to blame it on somebody else. We're going to be a victor and take control of our own destiny, and we're going to do it because we're going to act. We're going to attract, we're going to choose, and then we're going to train and retain. We're going to talk this morning quickly about attract. In episode 2, we'll talk about choose. In episode 3, we'll talk about train and retain. So here's what we want to do. First and foremost, we have to have a pool of people to speak to if we're going to fill those positions, whether it's 2 or 22. I have to fill the pipeline. And I want you to start thinking like a marketer. I want all of you to become as passionate about talent acquisition as you are about customer acquisition. It's critical. So it's a mindset. It's a paradigm shift. Start thinking like a marketer. Guest experience is now the new customer service. We've done the same play on words here with staffing, hiring, recruiting. It's now talent acquisition. There are actually talent acquisition departments in companies now that have sprung up here. So talent acquisition. And to start with, if we're going to get this new mindset, I want you to delete some words from your vocabulary, and I need to too, and we got to work together on this. Help wanted, now hiring, experience necessary. Those are all words that could work when the supply and demand curve was in your favor, but now all the things that I shared with you, these are words of desperation. Help wanted, now hiring. And if you're waiting for someone with experience, good luck. We've got to remove those words from our vocabulary. Couple of quick examples. These are ones we just picked up recently, now taking applications. Wow, that's exciting. I want to go to work there. Now hiring pharmacy technician, that, God bless this small business operator. Help wanted, experienced breakfast cook. Not only does it reek of desperation on help and wanted, but you need to be experienced. And not only experienced as a cook, you better be experienced as a breakfast cook. Imagine if you're an experienced dinner cook. Sorry, can't work there. And my last one here, hiring server, must have server experience. All of these reek of desperation. They're not thinking like a marketer. Now, here's some new school folks that are starting to embrace this. I love the Canes. You may have heard of Raising Canes. They're an up-and-coming chain. Now, having fun now comes in shifts. Love that. Now, the beauty of this is, if you didn't look at the words and you just looked at the pictures, you'd think, wow, this is a great point-of-sale marketing piece. That's the idea. They're thinking like marketers. Jersey Mike's, I love this one. Join a winning team, now conducting tryouts. What is tryouts code for? Job interview. Can you see how thinking about conducting a tryout is much more proactive and marketing driven than interview? I love what Jersey Mike's are doing here. And we have created some assets for you as well. We have 8.5 by 11 flyers, table tents, 22 by 28 posters. We've got digital assets for Facebook, your website, for email. In fact, we've also done some digital spots for you. We've recorded some 15-second, 30-second, 45-second, and a 60-second spot that we're going to take a look at right now.
Let the good times roll.
Have a ball at work. Part 2.
Get your side hustle rolling.
Want a job where you can really shake things up?
If you're mechanically inclined, then this job is right up your alley.
Having fun at work is how we roll.
If you're looking for a fun job with flexible hours in a great environment,
What are you waiting for? Join our team today.
join our team.
Working here is all fun and games.
Our business is centered around people having fun, and we're always looking for awesome team members who will help us put our best face forward.
Join our team.
If having a ball at work sounds like fun to you,
I used to come here to have fun. Now I come here to have fun and get paid.
welcome to our family.
Fun is our business.
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 We know this, folks. Fun is our business. You've been living it. It's one of the reasons you and I are in this industry. We love it. Now it's time to tell the other people about it. Not from the perspective necessarily of a customer, but why they would want to be on our team. These assets are available for you. We've had them professionally developed for your use now to combat there. Look, these are not going to make all your problems go away, but you want to be a victor and not a victim. All these are available on the BPAA website and also the Bowling University website. And we've got a much deeper dive in a course that we go into this, but I just wanted to share those with you there to get you thinking about it. So here's some must-dos. You gotta have people to talk to, right? You just like you need customers to talk to, you need potential team members to talk to. So you've got to go out there and build that pool of candidates. That's the baseline of our act. We've got to attract people in the pipeline here. So you have to analyze your brand appeal, your culture, and it really starts with the foundation of mission, vision, and values. Now, we didn't talk about that this morning, but it's critical, and we actually have a separate course we developed on the on-demand program through Bowling University that deals with this topic of understanding your culture, your mission, vision, and values. And I'd encourage you to check it out. It's the baseline to get to what you're going to do this next step of filling the pipeline here. Of course, it shouldn't be a surprise that we want you to be focused on constant, committed recruiting. And here's the goal, gang. You want to become the employer of choice in your community. I guarantee you right now in your community, there are people that moms want to send their kids to work at, seniors want to be a part of, or if mom or dad need to pick up extra money, they're going. Why is Chick-fil-A and brands like Texas Roadhouse, why are they not screaming desperation and blaming the government? Because they are the employer of choice in the communities you serve, and so are you. You can be aggressive, and you can get that victor mindset, and you can become that employer of choice there. So I leave you with this. Good employees quit when management is bad. bad employees quit when management is good. Peter Drucker said that, and I believe that wholeheartedly. So, Kelly, I hope we've got some things we can help folks fill that pipeline in attracting those future superstars, those future team members.
Thanks, Bart, for sharing that. But I know you probably cut this out for time, but I'd be remiss not to ask the question. You did not mention anything about wages. Where do wages come into this?
Yeah, it is, and we don't want to dodge the elephant in the room. Pay is important, and wages are important. You have to be competitive in your marketplace. And as you look around and follow that wages are rising. So we have to be aware of that. But when you become the employer of choice in your community, it's not about the pay and it's not about the wage. It's about your culture, your mission, vision, value, and how you take care of folks. You have to be competitive. That's the baseline. So you have to be competitive with your pay, folks. But it's not all about the pay, because otherwise you're just, and I like the term that you use, you're just a mercenary. If you're just going to try to win somebody just with cash, they're a temporary fix there. So be competitive, pay people fairly, but become that employer of choice in your community.
Oh, Bart, thanks for sharing that today, and thanks for the professional resources. These are huge.